Hey everyone, Julian here. Today I'm going to be talking about some techniques that I've figured out and sort of put together about how to make your beats and your drums in particular a lot more punchy and just a lot harder hitting. So what I have here is I have this little loop I put together. Shout out to my friend Paul for the loop. But yeah, so what this loop exemplifies, I think, is these really hard-hitting kicks, the claps hitting, like, really punching through, the percussion being in its right spot, and then still having, like, this melodic element over top that sits on top of everything, but doesn't take away from everything. And yeah, so the first thing I want to talk about in relation to this is leveling. So I'm sure you've heard it everywhere. It's about leveling your beats out. It's about leveling your beats out, all that. But it really is. Like, if you look at these tracks, I have pretty much no processing on all of them. On the bell, I do have a little bit of a low cut, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, like, it's really just more about, like, leveling. Like, I don't have any compression. I don't have any, I really don't even have any EQ on these sounds. Like, it's just about getting the volume right. And if you look at the master as well, you can see it's only hitting at -6, which is fine. Another thing I want to talk about is people are so concerned with, like, making their beats really loud inside of the project file, but the mindset that I think you need to have is more like just get the levels right as far as, like, relativeness goes, like getting the kick louder relative to the bells, for example, or getting the clap loud relative to the bells as well. I mean, just any stuff like that. Like, it's just about sort of relative volume. And then once you get the ratios right inside of here, or like I said, like the relative volumes right, you can just turn your speakers way up. Like, if you're making a beat, right, and you send it to a rapper and they rap on it, if it becomes a song, it's gonna get mastered. They're gonna get it up to that certain, like, volume standard of how loud the track should be. You don't have to worry about that. All you need to do is just make sure the beat is hitting really hard. And again, you can always turn your speakers up, you can always turn your headphones up, but you can't turn clipping down once you've exported the beat. So it's kind of important to just, yeah, like, focus on that. And like I said, like, this is hitting at -6. That's extremely quiet. Like, the rules for, like, mastering are, like, you need to have your beat, your song between -3 and -6. So this is really at, like, the lowest volume that you can have it hitting at, but I mean, it's really not a problem. And yeah, the other thing I want to talk about is making sure that all your sounds are sort of in their proper place, as far as the frequency spectrum goes. So this may seem a little bit obvious with this beat, but like, when you hear this beat, you can hear everything, even though it's like 7 sounds playing at once, which is sort of a lot of things for your brain to process. You can very easily pick apart every single sound. And like I said, this may seem kind of obvious. You may be like, oh, well, obviously, because you can feel the 808, you can hear the kick, you can, hear the hi-hats, all that. But it's because I've made such a deliberate effort to make it that way that this is like, that is what the situation is with this beat. It's because, like, when I chose the 808, I made sure it wouldn't clash with the kick. When I chose the bells, I made sure they wouldn't clash with any of the low end in the track or any of just anything going on. I have a very small hi-hat, so it doesn't get in the way of anything, but it's still just sort of on there riding over top of everything. And yeah, it's, like, very much about sound selection that way, and just sort of having a good ear to know, like, what fits together and really just putting everything into the same world. I do have, like, a little bit of EQ on the bells to help this, because there was a little bit of low-end stuff going on, but I mean, I think that's just gonna be with, like, any sound, really. And yeah, I mean, those are really the main two things that I wanted to talk about. Like I said, is, like, really just getting your levels right and making sure everything is in the right area as far as the frequency spectrum goes will take you very, very, very far. I mean, if you see, like, with these tracks, like, I don't even have any, like, compression. I really don't have any kind of processing on any of these sounds, besides the bells where I did the EQ. But I mean, like, I didn't just, like, compress my kick to get it super loud. Again, it's all just about relative loudness. Like, this kick is just very loud relative to the rest of this beat. And if you look at the master, too, you can see this as well. You can see when the kick hits, and when the clap hit, it really, it jumps up. And that's fine. Again, that's kind of what you want. because you want your kick and your clap to be like the two kind of loudest things. But anyway, that's gonna be it for today, guys. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments. Well, not in the description. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, share if it really helped you out, and I will see you guys again tomorrow for another tutorial.